going to get. I just need to tap it. It is full of a mouse nest. It's painted. It's got stuff in the paint. It's got to be repainted. See that? Fail. Well, this quickly escalated. I just stripped the entire hood. Hey guys, it's Bill, FlatBroke Garage. Welcome to the channel. If you're new, hope you stick around. If you're a regular, I really appreciate it. So today I was planning on doing a video, and it's so nice outside, I ran outside and forgot to start filming. My plans are vast. I have a lot of things to get done here. I want to get some painting done before I get Ashleighs 68 Mustang in the shop so we can get moving on that. This is the hood off my 1970 Torino GT. I had this hood media blasted quite a while ago, and they primed it for me. So I thought it would be fine. So I took this hood down and got ready to prep it. And I took an air hose and blew it off, and I blew the primer off. So apparently, really not the best prep work on their part. What I'm going to do is sand off everything they put on. Basically start over from scratch. I think that media blasting leaves a really fine powder and a real smooth surface. Nothing really for the paint to bite into. So I'm going to sand that down, and I'm going to get some self-etching primer and some sealer and start from ground zero, bring that back up. Also, I got an interesting email. Eating some beef jerky here. A production company, a movie company, they emailed me and asked me if I'd be willing to let them use my Falcorino, which is my 1970 and a half Ford Falcon. But this is a 6-cylinder 4-door car. They said it would be a feature car in the movie. Now, I don't know what a feature car is, if it's, you know, but I don't want it to be a Blues Brothers car. So I had to send them pictures of the car, of the state that it's in now. Send them some pictures, and you can see the car is, as they quoted, it's a little more rustic than they thought it was. However, they still really want to use the car. They asked me if I would be willing to paint the hood and the trunk. And my response is, let's pull the trunk off and let's try painting the deck lid and see how that looks. If that comes out good, I'll do the hood. Now, they wanted a little bit of weathering, but I said that's too much. So if they use the car, they told me they would reimburse me for painting the hood and the deck lid. You know, I've been back and forth, and do I paint it? Do I not paint it? Well, I'm going to leave the kind of patina on the fenders and the door. The hood needs some attention. This hood is kind of rusting out from the underside. You guys that own 70, 71 Torinos understand. It's got a little bit of patina on the door. They like the patina on the door, but the deck lid had primer on it, and the hood is pretty rough. The rest of the car is pretty nice. So, I don't know. Even if they don't use the car, I might just squirt the hood and the deck lid. It's actually a good thing I pulled this deck lid off. When I pull it off, look at this. It is full of a mouse nest. Oh my gosh. Mice get everywhere. The hinge goes in there. I mean, I'm sure they went up in here, but I have to vacuum that out. You can see this deck lid has kind of seen better days. You know, it's savable, it's usable. Could I fix all this? Yeah, I'm just going to clean this up and kind of treat all this as best I can, because I don't want this progressing. But I mean, rust is already in there. That's bare metal when they put these things together. So, I don't know. How is it in here? Still not the best. But these things, this is a Torino thing. Wow. 70, 71 Torinos. The hoods and deck lids, they just rot out, man. Well, I'll get the vacuum and suck all the goo out of there. And there we go. We're going to paint this deck lid. You can see somebody had primered this sometime way back when. And I clear coated this with a satin clear. and it's already rusting through. This car sits outside. I mean, it's my daily driver. I drive this car. So a little preservation on the deck lid would be good. It does have the original dealership metal tag on it. That's been on there since 1970, but it looks like stainless steel screws. I'm going to try and get that off. So if we can get that off, we'll get the lock mechanism out and we'll scuff that down too. As long as we're doing a hood, might as well go with the deck lid. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Now, Sunset Ford, they're still in business. They've been in business 111 years now, 112 years. I contacted them, and they were really interested in the car. So I sent them some pictures and stuff, and they sent me some swag. Ooh, let's see if these come out. I'd like to keep, oh, look, that turned. I'd like to keep this. Look at that. I think it's coming out. Is it or isn't it? It's just spinning now. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, look at that. These things are loose. Actually, I guess they're just sheet metal screws. I'm surprised they're not stripped. How cool is that? Oh, look at that. Little sheet metal, stainless steel sheet metal screw. Here we go. So anyway, back to Sunset Ford. Sunset Ford been in business 112 years now, I believe, and I think it's the great-grandson or grandson of the original owner, still runs the business, still family-owned. They're in St. Louis, Missouri. So I want to drive this car back out there. I said that originally when I got the car running, but, you know, life gets in the way. So, all right, well, let's get this taped up and put away and pull that trunk lock, and we'll start sanding this thing down. Well, I got that knocked down with some 120, and I was hand sanding down in where the creases are, where you really can't get, you know, the sander into. And I went to blow the hood off. Let me show you. Places you missed. Check this out. When I was blowing with the gun, I obviously didn't sand in there enough, but you can see there's actually rust starting under this primer already. It's frustrating. So I got to get back in there and hand sand all these radiuses out to be sure that it's good. I mean, I don't know what this is, but yeah, I got to get all this sanded out of here. So get all this clean, and we'll get some self-etching primer and some sealer on this. Well, this quickly escalated. I just stripped the entire hood. So we're bound to bare metal. There's a little patch, a little bodywork there, but not much. And cleaned it with Prep Sol. We're going to get some self-etching primer sealer on this. Then we're going to prime it and sand it and find all the imperfections, I guess. So stripped all the way down to bare metal, 80, 120, 240. And we got our self-etching primer in. I did find a little pinhole in that Bondo, so I put just a smidget of putty on. So we'll let this dry, give it a light scuff. We'll shoot it with some high build primer and block it out, and this should be ready for paint. All right, so the primer's dried. I'm cutting it with a 220, then we'll go to a 320 and probably down to about 1,000 grit, give it kind of a smooth finish. The Torino hood has been etched and primed. We're just going to let this one sit for now because I'm going to finish this up. I want to get some color on this and see how it comes out. I'm about as good a painter as I am welder. So yeah, you know, if you can't paint, paint a lot and you're a good wet sander. So let's finish getting this thing sanded down, cleaned up, and see if I can get some color on it. Got her all slicked off. Thing isn't that bad. It's not a lot of highs and lows. There's one little, see the dent there? I'm leaving that for character. And there's two little high spots, one there and one there. But, oh, and the rust. We got a little rust there. But all in all, this thing is really flat, really nice. I brought it down to 600 grit, and I'm going to tack cloth it down, and we're going to shoot it. I just use a single stage urethane enamel. It's about the most cost effective for me, and it's pretty easy to paint and pretty easy to fix. There is no cheap paint, but this is the best option. And this stuff, it's pretty rugged. So, you know, let's mix it up, give it a shot, and see how poorly I paint. Get ready to point and laugh. Clean. I got some paint mixed up. Let's see how it works out. I got a fan I turn on too. It's just too loud with it on. I just put a light coat on, just kind of give it something to bite into. I'm going to let this flash off, and we'll give it another coat. Man, these metallics, you got to watch your pressure and your distance, because if you change your pressure or your distance, the shape of the metallics change. You can kind of see where it's a little darker, where I want slow. So I'm going to have to pay attention to that. Remember, I am not a painter. Well, there we go. It's painted. It's got stuff in the paint. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. I mean, you know, you got to practice on things, and a car that's probably worth about $5 to $7 grand, that's a good thing to practice on. I think we'll be able to wet sand and buff some of the crumbles out of it. It's a little streaky. I'm messing with my pressure and pattern. I don't know. I'm not a painter, guys. I'm just doing the best I can. And these lights screw you up. We're just going to call it good. We're going to let it dry and let it set up and flash out. So here we go. The next day. It's out here in the sun, and I got some zebra stripes in it. So hard to tell when you paint this thing with my goofy LED lights. Every time you move from a different direction, it looked different. The metallics would go in and out. But it's got a nice shine. It just kind of bums me out. I got the zebra stripes. I don't know if you can really see them in the video or not, but you know, as you move, the metallics change. This paint is almost all metallic. It's gold and silver metallic. And they're really hard to paint. It's got to dry, so I got it out here in the sun kind of curing. It's going to be the driver. You can see it right there. That's where it's dark. Oh well, we'll let her dry. Now I have to get back to painting my hood. It is grabber blue, but the hood itself is 99% black, or 90% black. There's just a blue stripe that comes around here and goes up the center. So all I'm going to do is paint blue here, across here, up the center on both sides, because the rest of it, like I said, is what they call hot rod black or satin black. And if you follow me on Facebook, which you can do, FlatBroke Garage on Facebook and FlatBroke Garage TN on Instagram, I messed up my fender. So I got that fixed. I got to wet sand this whole fender, paint this again, and the last piece I have to do is this little filler panel. This panel goes between the bumper and the grill, and it's color match, blue. The reason I haven't been working on the car is I was gathering parts. I finally found this part, and we'll get this, the last piece of the puzzle. We'll get this one painted, and I can start assembling the Torino once that's done. So I guess let's just rinse and repeat. This should be a lot easier. This is just a flat color to paint. So way easier for the novice like me. We'll get this done and see how these turn out. Well, here we go. We got the thing all sanded down, wet sanded. I still see a couple shiny, Alexa, pause. Copyright. Still see a couple shiny spots I got to get with the Scotch-Brite pad. But this would be ready to go. I got this filler piece cleaned up, ready to go. Now, like I said, the hood, that's all sanded down. Kind of paint where the stripe goes and then kind of fog in some blue in the rest. No sense in wasting paint. Stuff's expensive. So let me get rid of a couple little shiny spots I see in there with a Scotch-Brite, and we'll start shooting some color. Everything started out going so good. Got the fender painted. It's like glass. Nothing in it. No debris. And the guy goes and drags an airline through it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got to be repainted. See that? Fail! Forgot to include a video of the hood. Hood came out pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Like I said, all I'm mainly concerned about is the perimeter and the center. The rest of it's just kind of lightly fogged in with paint. But I figured might as well just coat the whole hood. So yeah, that's a win. I started sanding this fender back down where I drug the hose across it, and yeah, well, it is what it is. You know, it's a mistake. And the filler panel piece, that came out pretty good too. It's got a nice finish. There's a little stuff in it. That's not horrible. That could be wet sanded out of there. So. All in all, happy with the pieces except for the driver error on my part. I'm going to call them a win. You know, it's on there from a distance. You know, it looks all right. It's like I said, it's a little shinier than it should be, and I have some zebra stripes in the paint. I don't know. I might scuff it down, reshoot it. I'm all new to these HVLP guns and all this metallic-y stuff. Not a pro. Once again, I'm definitely not a painter. But I don't know. What would you guys do? Just leave it? Submitted the pictures to the production company. See if they like how it looks with a little bit of patina up here and no primer on the deck lid. The doors have this kind of patina on, which they were okay with. I can't figure that up. And then, like I said, the hood, he wanted to do something with the hood. I've been kicking it around myself too. It's original, but I don't know. What would you guys do? They haven't really talked any money or anything. I will be getting paid month contract for them to use the car. All the stickers have to come off too, except for, I said the original, that's the original Missouri safety or inspection sticker, which is pretty cool. But, well, like I said, from a distance, I call it good. Look good in a movie. All right, well, I'm going to wait and hear back from them. Meantime, I got to move this thing around. I got this car running. If you saw the last video, I had a problem with thought it was a carburetor float. Turns out my brand new fuel pump was just way too much pressure. I've never seen that before. But I'm going to fire this thing up and get this pulled down below and get that car put away. And so we're going to get Ashleighs Mustang put back in the shop. Now I have to go out of town for a couple weeks, but when I come back, this is going to be, we're attacking this. Ashleigh's coming back into town and we're going to get going on this. Well, we got Ashleighs Mustang all hooked up to my Jeep with the winch. I'm kind of home alone right now, and I'm going to try and get this into the shop on my own. So I got the remote control. I can sit in there, winch the car up here. You can't really tell, but this is all uphill. And then I'll let it kind of roll back into the shop. Sounds good in theory, but I don't know. Let's give it a shot, see if it works. Maybe I should sit with the car. Well, we successfully got it pulled up the hill. I'll just put the Jeep in gear and kind of let the car roll back gently into the shop. Should be perfect. Well, we got all the downhill I think we're going to get. I just need to tap it. So I'm going to the push bumper method on the Jeep. You can put an old tire in the brush guard and it just hits the bumper. I'm keeping a winch rope on it just for safety. I think we'll be able to nudge it in there. I don't know. Well, there we go. At long last, Ashleighs Mustang is back in the shop. I have to go out of town for a couple weeks. I got a lot of traveling to do, which brings me up to something. I got some new t-shirts made up. I don't do a lot of these t-shirt things. I really don't. Everybody has always asked me and Ashley about the blue Torino and this Mustang. So, no, my car isn't done yet t-shirts. So it's FlatBroke Garage on the back, little FlatBroke Garage on the front. If you guys are interested in these shirts, there's a limited number of them. I think I only printed about 100 of them. About 25 are already sold. I will be this weekend in Chicago at the World of Wheels at the Windy City Alley Cats display. The real big club display they have there. So if you're going to be in Chicago, you want a t-shirt, hit me up. You could message me on Facebook Messenger at FlatBroke Garage or Instagram FlatBroke Garage TM. And I'll have shirts there to show to sell. The shirts are 25 bucks up to an XL, 30 bucks for 2X and 3X for us bigger guys. But that's the way they are. The better quality shirt, printed, not that iron-on crap. So, but yeah, I'm not in this to make money. I mean, it's just, you guys like wearing the shirts, I think that's really cool. But when I get back, we're going on this thing. I noticed when I went to move it, literally the fender's falling off. Look at the Bondo on this thing. I mean, that's some thick Bondo. It just, so we're going to have to decide what to do. But when I come back, we're going to dynamite the interior. We're going to get the dash cleaned up, painted, prepped, window regulators in it. See if the engine's back. We'll probably get the engine in it, get some exhaust on it. I don't know. You'll have to follow along. If you're not subscribed, just give me a shot down here and give me a subscription. Or if you like the video, just a thumbs up. I really appreciate you guys sticking around. I know it's kind of an ADD kind of video, but I had a bunch of stuff I had to get done, and I'm going out of town for a few weeks, so I want to get something up. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you hopefully soon on the next one. Maybe in Windy Cities. All right, guys. Bye.